So good morning again. Today I'm going to explain you what my master degree thesis project has been in collaboration with Hexagon company, Thales Alenia Space Italia company, and my university, Politecnico di Torino. The thesis topic can be summarized in the title of the current presentation, which I wrote in this first slide, and is Numerical Simulation of Residual Stresses in Friction Stir Welding Joints, a comparative study with experimental validation. Before starting, in this slide, I quickly show you how the current presentation has been organized in order to help you understand better what I'm going to explain. At the beginning, again, I'm going to introduce my thesis project. Then I'm going to explain briefly how the friction stir welding technique works, since it has been the central topic of the thesis. I will present the experimental data available that I had to reproduce inside one of the Hexagon software. I will introduce the software itself, which is Simufact Welding. I'm going to show you what I reproduce inside the graphical interface of Simufact Welding with the aim of illustrating some tools and instruments available inside it and an innovative way of applying them in simulations. I will show you how I tried to solve some problems concerning the simulation itself through the application of a subroutine code. And finally, results, conclusion, and future project. Again, the thesis has been a collaboration among Hexagon company, Thales Alenia Space Italia company, and Politecnico di Torino University. And the main purpose of the project was finding a strategy to digitally simulate a particular welding technique, the friction stir welding, largely used in the aerospace field. The main aim of the simulation itself was to reproduce as well as possible the residual stresses that arise inside the welded materials after the process. In order to validate the simulation once developed, a comparison between experimental data and digital data has been held. The experimental data available were residual stresses directly measured on structures, in particular pressurized modules, worked through friction stir welding in Thales Alenia Space company. But what is friction stir welding? In this section of the presentation, I will briefly describe the simulated welding process. Friction stir welding is classified as a semi-solid state welding process. The welding is executed with the use of a welding tool composed by a shoulder and a pin, as illustrated in the figure of the left. The shoulder of the tool, during the process, rotates around its vertical axis and translates along the path to be welded in contact with the materials of the pieces to join. The contact produces the friction necessary to overheat the components to be welded, to the point of inducing them in a plastic deformation state. The pin, rotating and translating as well, but inside the pieces, allows the mixing of these materials once in the plastic deformation state and consolidates the welding. In the next section, I'm presenting the experimental data available, kindly provided by Thales Alenia Space Italia company, and concerning the residual stresses produced by the friction stir welding process inside the welding materials. The experimental measurements have been realized after 3 welding tests executed on rectangular plates with dimensions of 900 millimeters per 100 millimeters and a variable thickness. The thickness was 7.5 millimeters for 2 of them and 5.5 millimeters for the other. For each plate, 2 types of stresses have been measured with a local measurement technique. The longitudinal residual stresses, which means along the welding direction, and the transversal residual stresses perpendicular to the welding direction. The image, kindly provided by Thales Alenia Space Italia company, shows one of these plates with the points in which the measurement have been done, highlighted with red and yellow dots. As I mentioned in the introduction, the software that I use to reproduce the friction stir welding process has been Simufact Welding by Hexagon. So in the next slide, I'll try to summarize what are currently the main characteristics of this product. Simufact Welding is one of the digital environments of the software Simufact, together with Simufact Forming and Simufact Additive Manufacturing. The software has been taught to allow the digital reproduction of different material assembly and working processes in order to evaluate, to estimate their effect on the final product before physically producing the components. Simufact Welding, in particular, has been created to digitally simulate a series of different welding techniques, but currently inside it there is no graphical interface dedicated to the friction stir welding. So the aim of my thesis project became finding a way to readapt the instruments and tools available in one of the other welding process graphic interface in order to invent a strategy to simulate the friction stir welding even without a dedicated environment. In the next section of the presentation dedicated to the numerical model, I will describe how I tried to simulate the 3 friction stir welding tests illustrated before in the experimental data section inside the Simufact Welding software. First of all, I reproduced the geometry of the plates, but with reduced dimensions in order to shorten the computational time of each simulation. The mesh implemented for the plates geometry is uniform, composed by hexaedral elements with a characteristic dimension equal to 6 mm. The boundary conditions applied to the plates try to reproduce as well as possible the fixing method implemented in the welding machine of Thales Alenia Space Italia. So they are represented by an envelope plate, blue in the figure of the slide, and a series of fixed nodes at the extremities of the plates, which are represented by the pink color in the same figure. The thermal boundary condition provides a simulation initial temperature equal to the environment temperature, which is about 20 Celsius degrees, while the load applied to the geometries is only of a thermal type and is represented by 2 heat sources, both defined with the same heat power, that flow along the welding path in substitution of the welding tool. So we can say then that in the simulation, the welding tool is not physically represented. The use of a double heat source instead of a single heat source is one of the main innovative aspects of my friction stir welding simulation. Since it has been the first time that a double heat source has been implemented in a simulation inside Simufact Welding software, I dedicate the following slides to explain the reason behind this choice. The distribution of heat power inside each source on Simufact Welding follows the Gaussian distribution and for this reason provides a single central peak of power as illustrated in the figure of the slide. The distribution of residual stresses across the welding bead follows the heat power distribution. So with my friction stir welding simulation, I demonstrated that a single heat source was not sufficient to reproduce the experimental data relative to longitudinal residual stresses. In order to understand better what I'm saying, in this slide I show you a comparison between a first simulation done with the single heat source and a second simulation with the double heat source. In the first case, the longitudinal residual stresses of the simulation, represented by the blue curves in both diagrams, have a single central peak which is not coherent with the experimental data, represented by the red curves in the same diagrams. On the other hand, the second simulation presents a result coherent with the experimental data. Before showing you the final results, or in other words, the final digital simulation of the 3 welding tests available, I dedicated a short section to explain you a last important aspect to implement in the simulation itself, which is the method I applied for the calculation of the heat power assigned to every heat source. The formula used is displayed at the beginning of the slide and comes from research in the scientific literature, with a little change which represents the second innovative aspect of my thesis. In fact, the first 3 quantities implemented in the formula are data available from the welding experiments and represent in order the normal force applied by the welding tool on the components, the rotational speed of the welding tool, and the tool shoulder radius. And as I say in the slide, they are known parameters. The parameter that I indicate with the letter alpha instead has been introduced by me, and it takes into account 2 aspects of the process that cannot be measured experimentally, and are the friction coefficient between the tool and the welded material, and the dissipation, which the scientific literature demonstrates to be particularly high for the friction stir welding process. This parameter has been estimated for Thales Alenia Space Italia welding machine through the simulation I'm currently presented and is placed equal to 0.163. Finally, I'm going to focus on the result of the digital simulation. The first slide of the results section is dedicated to the longitudinal residual stresses. I have dedicated the diagram for every experimental welding process, and each diagram shows three curves. The experimental data that I had to simulate with the red curve, the result of the simulation with the parameter alpha calculated specifically for the single test in blue, and then the final result in orange with the parameter alpha equal to 0.163. The results show a good correlation between experimental and digital data. Just a single aspect that I underline in the current slide could be improved. So basically, in the mathematical simulation, the stresses point of inversion from tractional to compressive nature of the residual stresses as a distance from the center of the welding bead higher with respect to the experimental case. So the next and final step of the project has been writing a subroutine in order to try to solve the problem. Before showing you what happens with the application of this subroutine, I just dedicated the next slide to the second type of stresses typical of the friction stir welding that has been measured experimentally, so the transversal residual stresses. In this case, the results of the simulation are not coherent with the experimental data, but these cannot be considered a bad result, since it demonstrates that the only use of a thermal load is not sufficient for the numerical simulation of the transversal residual stresses. Or in other words, the transversal residual stresses depend mainly on mechanical laws, not reproduced inside the simulation. Going back to the subroutine, I decided to use a subroutine code in order to create a new heat flux, a new heat source that could represent better the friction stir welding tool. Sorry. The purpose was writing a code to describe a thermal flux specific for the friction stir welding, in order to get the point of inversion of longitudinal residual stresses closer to the center of the welding bead. For this reason, the flux of the subroutine provides a drop of power at a distance from the welding bead center equal to the shoulder radius. In the figure, you can clearly appreciate the difference between the thermal flux provided by two heat sources on the left and the thermal flux described inside the subroutine code with the drop of power on the right. In this slide, I show you the longitudinal residual stresses I obtained after the application of the subroutine. So the three curves represent again the experimental data with the red color, the result obtained with the first simulation with the two heat sources in blue, so the result that I already showed a couple of slides ago, and the longitudinal stresses obtained with the subroutine in orange. As you can see, the point of inversion of residual stresses gets closer to the center of the welding bead as wanted, so this is the positive aspect of the application of the subroutine, but the level of residual stresses at the center of the bead decreases and results underestimated with respect to the experimental data. Finally, last section of the presentation, conclusion and future works. In conclusion, my thesis project has been useful to demonstrate that Simufact Welding software offered by Hexagon is a valid instrument to digitally recreate the longitudinal residual stresses produced by the friction stir welding process. An aspect that I didn't mention before, but result important, in particular once seeing the final results, is that this kind of stresses, longitudinal ones, are predominant in the simulated welding technique. I also demonstrated the possibility of implementing both a double heat source and a subroutine in Simufact welding simulation, which is something never done before. And I demonstrated the method with the double heat source results more conservative with respect to the use of the subroutine, since produces a higher stress level all across the welding bead. And this is clear from the figure on the right side of the slide. For what concerns future works and projects, I end my presentation leaving some ideas for future studies that could continue my research thesis. So, for example, the strategy developed for the friction stir welding simulation could be validated on structures of different geometries and dimensions, since until now I use it for simple small plates. then it could be an idea verifying the possibility to reproduce transversal residual stresses by applying thermomechanical loads instead of just a thermal load. And finally, refine the subroutine in order to bring the numerical simulation closer to the experimental data. Thank you for your attention.